Hello, I'm Ben Mankiewicz, joined by Michael Tomasky, editor of The New Republic. Michael, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It is fitting that you're here because this is part of our series of political films, the most significant 100 political films of all time. We're not bringing you all 100. All 100 are in a list published by The New Republic. This was really your idea.
It was. It appeared in the July-August issue of The New Republic in 2023, and it's an idea that I came up with in January of that year when I was sort of just starting to plot out that year's issues and think about what we could do that would be interesting or special. I took it to our literary editor, Laura Marsh, who was enthusiastic about it. Then we decided that we needed to enlist a real film critic to curate the project and sort of oversee it. Laura and I enlisted Jay Hoberman, the longtime film critic of The Village Voice, during the era when The Voice was one of the most prominent, really, platforms for
30 plus years until 2012 for Jay Hoberman.
Yeah, and he's also the author or editor of about a dozen books on film. Jim agreed enthusiastically to do this, so we started making lists of critics that we wanted to participate. And we had about 85 people participate, and we collated their results, and there you are.
And significantly, though, the idea would come up naturally, because it's the way people talk, is the 100 best political films, but Jay Hoberman changed that.
He did, and he changed it to most significant. And
why?
Well, because best is personal, best is subjective. Most significant makes you think in different categories. It makes you think about what has lasted and why, and what value it has to resonate down through generations and beyond its time.
Also tells critics and movie people to feel more comfortable giving up their darlings.
And we all have a lot of those in movie
goodness. Yeah. Well, first of all, you asked me to participate. Thank you.
Yeah.
You asked for 10. I sent a list of 17 movies.
Yeah.
Not following directions.
Well, that's okay. It was a great list, and I agreed with a lot of them.
And the film that I picked first is the film that you're going to introduce today because it came in at the top of the list. From 1966 is The Battle of Algiers. Did it win by a lot?
It won overwhelmingly. When I started this project, virtually from the moment that I conceived of this project, I knew that probably however we sliced it, The Battle of Algiers was going to finish first. I didn't realize how overwhelmingly it would finish first.
So what's interesting, among the many interesting things about this movie, is that you had a sense that it would finish first. I put it first. It came in first overall, which means a lot of, I'm not a critic, but a lot of, much smarter movie people than I put it first. And yet, and I know a lot of TCM fans have seen it, but there are thousands and thousands, millions of very smart people who care about politics who have not seen this film.
No, well, it's not an American film.
That's right.
It's not a film that is shown probably even on TCM a whole lot.
No, we have shown it. But,
and of course, anybody can stream anything these days, but before all that started, it wasn't a film that would have made it around to all that many American cities. A co-Italian-Algerian production from 1966, was and probably remains an acquired taste in our country.
And it is the story told in a documentary style. I mean, it's a narrative film, but it is shot like a documentary about the Algerian fight for independence, starting in roughly 1954.
Right, against the French.
Against the French,
yes. And it's a fictional film, but it's based on real events. It's based on a book written by a man who was a leader of the Algerian resistance, the FLN, as it was known, who also got an acting part in the movie.
Most of the Algerian actors in the film are not professional actors.
Two prominent professional actors, the man who played the main French general and then the man who played Ali Lepoint, who was the main protagonist.
Brahim Haggiag played Ali, and then Jean Martin, a very well-known leftist French actor, played the leader of the French colonial forces there solely to crush the rebellion using any means necessary, including very clear episodes of torture.
Yeah, and the other actors were Algerian, residents of the Casbah, French people, tourists, I read, who happened to be in Algeria at the time.
Now, there was no issue with shooting in Algiers because the Algerian government, by then independent by the mid-60s, essentially commissioned the project, sanctioned it anyway.
Yeah, they did. They wanted this story told, and I guess this transitions us to talking about the director, Gillo Pontecorvo, who was sympathetic to the goals of the insurgency. He was a man of the left, a member of the Italian Communist Party when he was young. He joined during the war. He quit in 1956, as so many people did after the Soviet Union invaded Hungary. But he was a man of the left, and he grew up on the Italian neo-realist films of the post-war period, Rossellini and De Sica and so on.
And this is definitely this takes Italian neo-realism in an entirely new direction, but this is neo-realism.
It is. You could watch this movie and be forgiven for thinking that you were really watching a documentary. The black and white graininess of it, even the camera angles and shots and the use of music, the sparing use of music.
Which was composed by Pontecorvo himself and Ennio Morricone.
Yeah, it all gives it a really documentary feel, I think.
And one of the significant things it does, as you will see, is even though it's hard not to watch this, and well, I mean, again, your allegiances could swing back and forth, but humanity is given both to the French and certainly to the Algerians fighting for their freedom. Right?
It is, yeah. The moral ambiguity of it is I think, one of its most attractive points.
One of its great strengths.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, let's take a look at it. We'll talk again afterwards. Here it is from director Gillo Pontecorvo in 1966. The Battle of Algiers. I'm back with the editor of the New Republic, Michael Tomasky. Michael, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
New Republic last year, the July-August double issue, published the 100 most significant political films of all time. The film we just saw, The Battle of Algiers, came in at number 1. Thank you for asking me to participate in that poll. 85 critics, and were they all critics? Was I the only non-critic?
No, there were some academics and film
some
commentators.
Cable TV hosts. Was I the only cable television host to participate? Thank you.
You were, yeah.
I was thrilled to do the list. I think I submitted 17 movies. My number 1 was The Battle of Algiers. It just seemed obvious and maybe it was, I think it would have been number 1 if you'd said best, but when you change it to most significant, it feels like it had to be The Battle of Algiers, and I think people just saw why. Hard to believe that he didn't use one bit of documentary stock film footage.
It looks so much like a documentary and feels so much like a documentary, and the movement from the Casbah to the other scenes in around Algiers is just so news-like.
Yeah, we should give credit to Gillo Pontecorvo's DP, Marcello Gatti, really outstanding work. There's such tension throughout, right at the moment that you think, you know what, they've got to be free, the French are torturing them. Guys show up in an ambulance and gun down innocent shoppers and diners on the street.
Yeah.
And you think, no, I can't have this. Now what do I think? And I guess that's the point, right? He wants you wondering throughout.
Yeah, exactly.
Deliberate moral ambiguity, as you said.
Yeah, very, very dark, very complex throughout. And of course, I like the way also that it ends where it began. You know,
right.
It brings you back to that room where Ali Lapointe and his Confederates and that one child are holed up behind that wall.
Yeah, I mean, it is an incredibly well-made film, which is why it still resonates, and I think why it so clearly came in at number 1 as the most significant political film of all time. It changed people's minds about the nature of colonialism and about people who were being colonized, about their right to fight for freedom.
Yeah, and it's still relevant, obviously, and because those kinds of situations continue around the globe. And just one testament to its staying power, the Bush White House, the George W. Bush White House,
this is very significant.
Screened it
in 2003.
In 2003 for supporters as during the early stages of the Iraq War, so that their generals and others would understand what they might face in insurgent door-to-door fighting. Pontecorvo was amused by that, I think.
Yeah,
but it just tells you, what it had to say and what its impact was.
Yeah, hard to imagine a political film teaching more important lessons than the one we just saw, than the Battle of Algiers.
Totally agree, and I think the world of filmdom agrees, and there's it will last forever, I think.
Michael, thanks for putting together the list. A terrific idea. We'll be taking a look at many movies on the list in the weeks and months ahead, and it wouldn't happen unless you guys had put it together. Thanks very much.
Well, thanks a million. I love TCM, as I told you, and I watch it all the time. It's a real pleasure. Michael is done for the night, but the movies aren't, and as always, they will continue here on TCM, uncut and commercial-free.
Next on TCM, all the king's men, then the great dictator, and later, fail safe. TCM is on the brink tonight.